I think that's a big misunderstanding in all of our lives, especially influencers, people with big platforms. It's easy to think that they have their lives completely together and that everything is perfect, and I mean, sometimes it's not. So everybody goes through things and deals with insecurity and doubt, and I mean, of course, I go through those things every single day of my life, and I know so many people who do too, and it's not something that is wrong with you. I think that's a big part of what people tend to misunderstand, is that if I'm sad or if I'm not confident, that's a problem. That's something wrong with me, and I don't want people to know something that's wrong with me. But it's not anything wrong with you. It's just something that you will go through all through your life, and you need to understand that people love you, but first you should love yourself. I talk about that a lot. I post about that a lot, like loving yourself before someone else can love you, because if you look for approval within anybody else other than yourself, it's never going to satisfy you. You're always going to be looking for someone else more and more and more and more to gratify who you are as a person, and that is never going to be enough. You have to first love yourself and understand your worth and what you mean to the world and what you bring, and it's very hard to it's very hard to understand your worth and your purpose, and it feels like sometimes you don't matter, but you do so much. And there's really nothing wrong going on. I mean, even if there was, that's okay, because I'm a human being, we all are, but I don't really know why I'm crying. I mean, I kind of do, but like, it's totally fine. I don't want you guys to be sad about this. I get emotional all the time, but yeah, I just wanted to talk to you guys about this because it's something that I see going on with many people that are very close to me. They feel like they have to put on this face when they go out in public and be what everyone wants them to be, or what they think everyone wants them to be, but all of those expectations are usually... Oh, hi. yeah, I'm totally fine, I'm just talking to people.
Okay, I could
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay.
Right.
No worries. I'm just being me. Bye, I love you. You don't have to go yet.
What?
Yeah, you don't have to go yet.
Wait
I'll
for
go
you.
with
Okay.
you.
Okay.
We're gonna go to the grocery store after this to get some food because I'm starving. But I'm not starving, that's such an exaggeration. But yeah, the expectations that we put up are usually in our head. A lot of it is in our head. So we have to understand that, first of all, most of the things that we think people want from us or that they expect from us are not true. They're not even in that other person's head. That we're just assuming that it is. But also, even if other people are expecting those things from you, there's no requirement of you to try and meet those standards. There's no requirement. There's no law that you have to be it for everybody. You have to be able to just be happy with who you are, first of all. And that's a very hard thing to do. And, wow, I feel like I'm just ranting right now, but I see a lot of people in the comments being like, what the heck is going on? I don't even know what's going on. I'm just talking about things that are very important in my life and in a lot of young people's lives. Not even just young people, but in everybody's lives. So nothing's wrong. Don't worry. Nothing's wrong at all. I'm just talking. But to answer the actual question is, I think being confident in yourself and also in your body. Oh yeah, I never talked about in your body. Yeah, that is a very big, I think being confident in yourself and who you are as a person is usually going to reflect in how you think of yourself physically. Because if you feel like you're gross or I'm just a horrible person, I hate myself inside, that's gonna just continue to project outside, and then you're gonna start bringing your body down, saying, I'm fat, I hate my arms, I hate my nose, I want to change everything about me. And I see that also a lot, not just in my friends, but in myself too, and in my family and everybody around me. I see that constant, I don't even know the right words, that constant desperation to be like loved and for somebody else to kind of show you your self-worth, and then you're always going for somebody else, and then if you never really appreciate yourself inside, you're also wanting someone else to tell you, oh, you look beautiful, and it all just kind of comes together through loving who you are on the inside. And then I think that really kind of projects on how you're going to treat yourself on the outside or talk about yourself. Also, another thing that just popped into my head is just taking compliments. I feel like modesty and humility that has been turned into this wave of like, oh, I have to reject every compliment I get and say, no, I'm not pretty, or I'm not good at that, or just all of those great compliments you get, you have to kind of turn it into this negative, like, oh no, I'm not, you are, and that's a good thing. It's amazing to be modest and humble, but it is not a good thing to constantly break yourself down while that's happening. And while you're being praised for whatever aspect of your life, to kind of hit that positivity, that always makes everyone feel good, and make that just disappear and continue to soak in that horrible feeling of not being good enough. And it's not just the people who some of the most successful people that I know, amazing, incredible people, still feel that, oh, I'm not good enough. And when you are, I'm just thinking of different people, for example, but when you are at that higher ground and people look up to you, you always feel like you have to say that you're not up there. I don't even know what I'm going into, I'm just rambling, but there's so much that I'm trying to say and it's all trying to spill out right now. But I'm just gonna move on from what I'm saying because I've talked about this too much and I want to start answering your guys' questions because that's what I asked in the first place. I don't think I've ever done that before. What is it? Okay, it's right there. Cool. Luke Mullen said, are you straight up G Swaggy Poppy meme lord? Don't even know what that means, but I'm straight up like that, you know, always Swaggy Poppy big lump meme lord, you know, it's always there. Okay, let's go on to some other questions. Love you, Luke. Okay. B._Melly said, I'm a dancer. Can you give me tips on how to get better? Honestly, I'm still trying to get better too. I think it's like a big breaking point for me when I was starting to dance was just doing the most. Like, when everyone else is sitting or eating or watching TV, like, go ahead and work, practice, like, really just do as much as you can if you really want to get better, because if you do what everyone else is doing, you're gonna improve maybe at the same pace, less, or maybe more. It always depends, but there's always a 100% that you will improve faster than most people if you work the most out of all of the people that you are training with. And you shouldn't also compare yourself to the people and say, well, they're working 3 hours, now I'll work 4. Like, you should love it enough to be able to do it as much as possible, no matter how much it compares to the other people around you. When I first started dancing, I loved it so much, but I was the worst out of everybody at my dance studio because I hadn't really ever danced. So of course I just danced every single minute. No, I've of course slept, but every minute that I was awake, I was dancing. So I think if you want to get better at anything, it's just to practice and keep doing it and not to give up and to love it, because it's very, very, very difficult to do things all the time when you aren't in love with it, and you don't always want to do that. Yeah. Bell_is_queen_. Bell is queen. Go off. She said, how old are you? What grade are you in? I'm just trying to do some, like, lighter questions because I'm clearly emotional right now. But, she said, how old are you? What grade are you in? I am 14, but sis is about to be 15 on the 7th. So in about 3 days, which I have no clue how to feel about this. Like, I don't know, I've just never really liked growing up, and I love my birthdays. I love eating a lot of food in celebration of being birthed years before, but I still, like, love just, I've always wanted time to just stop and to just be, like, I like the fact that I'm gonna be a grown-up one day is, like, so terrifying, but also so exciting, and I'm excited for the future, but also just love the age that I am at now, and love being fed by my parents. Okay, they don't feed me, but, I mean, they feed me, but, yeah, whatever, this is getting weird, but, also, what grade am I in? I'm in my freshman year of high school. High school's hard, dude, but it's also very fun in a way. Like, after I finished finals, I'd never done finals ever, and so I finished them. I was having heart attacks almost every time, but after I finished all of them, I had this overwhelming feeling of, like, just being so being so satisfied because I had put so much work in, and I never felt like it would end, but it did, and I did it and well, and it was just like this amazing feeling that I had really worked my butt off for something and it paid off. So yeah, I'm not like in love with school, but it's actually not as bad as I thought it'd be for high school, I mean. Chili_climb said, how are you so positive? That's an interesting question. I don't feel like you know what? That's kind of a compliment. I'm just gonna say thank you. I'm not gonna reject it because I've already talked about not rejecting compliments, but thank you. I try to be as positive as I possibly can. It is very hard sometimes because sometimes it feels like the world's ending and there's no light ever in the world and everything's just dark and emo hours. But I think just always, this is a thing that my family and I were talking about the other day, was changing perspectives. That's a big thing. Is sometimes we can get caught up in our own little hallway and we can't see all these other directions that we can go, and sometimes our little hallway is just this circle and we just keep going around and around and around, and we never think to look up or look to the side and find another tunnel and go through that, and maybe that leads to the light. But yeah, I think just trying to find different perspectives when you're feeling like everything is just horrible and it's never gonna get better. Do the exact opposite. Think about that in your head, the exact opposite of that thought, of that negative, nasty thought of just feeling worthless, and turning it around, and just, even if you don't believe it, just start saying it. My dad is a psychologist, so we have a lot of talks with him, but something he was saying was, as humans, we kind of have inside of our heads these like two channels, and this is just something he says, but and a bunch of other people say this too, especially in psychology, but as humans we tend to listen to the negative side of the radio much more than we do the positive side. So the volume is turned all the way down for the positive side, and the negative is just blaring, and you're just listening to these horrible things that you keep saying to yourself. I'm so ugly, I hate myself, I have the worst personality, I'll never be anything. All of that is just blasting into your ear, and you never turn the other knob to hear the counterpoints, because there's never just horrible or positive in any situation. There's always both, but you have to allow there to be a middle ground. And of course it would be so much better to always just blare the positive, but that is just not a realistic thing in anybody's lives. You're never gonna just be blaring up positive and just chilling in the car listening to "I'm amazing, oh I'm so good, everybody loves me, I'm so cool." Like, that's just not something that people usually do, and if you do, go you. But realistically, there's usually that negative side, and I think for myself and many others out there, we have to work on turning up that positive voice in our head much more than we do the negative. And starting that just little by little, when you start to have those negative thoughts in your head, counterpoint it with a positive thought. And you might not believe it right away, but eventually those two radios will be at the same volume, and then it's easier to start choosing which one you want to make higher or lower once you're at that middle ground. Okay, I'm looking for more. Sorry, I'm just trying to look for some. There's a lot of great ones, that's why it's hard. Claudia V. Boz said, any tips for procrastination? I'm the queen of procrastination. I really shouldn't be, but sadly I am. I don't really know. I don't feel like I should be the one. But okay, this is the thing. I can be a hypocrite sometimes and try to talk about things that I need to work on, but all of these things I'm ever saying are not, I haven't mastered. I'm not trying to really, like, teach you guys a lesson, because I'm really needing to, sometimes talking really helps me learn things, talking about it and understanding my own thoughts and saying it out loud in the most positive way helps me really understand certain topics or the parts of my life, and if whatever I'm talking about does help you, or maybe it helps you open up the conversation or ever think about any of these things more than you usually would, that is a cha-ching for me. Like, I'm so happy about that, but I want you guys to know that I'm never trying to say that I know these things, because I really am learning them just as much or more than you guys are, or less, I don't really know, but yeah, I'm just really trying to learn and understand these things as I go. So yeah, but on to the question, any tips for procrastination? Just do it, I guess. That's the best advice I could have. Once you start doing it, I feel like it gets a lot easier. Once you let it build up and be like this big thing, especially with homework, I feel like that's a big part of procrastination, is the school aspect. When it comes to just doing a presentation on Google Docs, for me, that's usually what I do. Or writing an essay. Like, if you just start, you start to get on this roll, hopefully. And even if you don't, just blast through that, buddy. But if you let it build up to be like, oh, I have a week's worth of school that I have to do, it ends up being this way bigger mess than it should have been, or could have been if you just did it when you needed to. And also, like, deleting certain apps off of your phone that you're super, like, addicted to and that really eat up your time when you're needing to do something else very important. I think that's a good thing to do, because you can always... Baby Violet said, take me for a walk later, please. Okay, I will, Violet. But I lost my train of thought. Come back. Where are you? But yeah, I honestly have no clue what I was just saying. What was I saying? I mean, I know I was talking about procrastination, I just don't remember, like, what I was really saying. But yeah, okay, that's it. Yeah, sorry, I don't remember, but thanks for the question. Looking for Mo. If you want to ask any questions, you can ask them there below, or you can go to my story and ask them on there. That's where most of the questions that I'm answering are from. Oh, Baby Beth said procrastination and school assignments. Thanks, Chica. Yeah, I was saying that about, yeah, I don't really remember, like, what I was saying about that, but I'll just move on because I'm gonna think about that forever. Oh, that's a good question. Gracie_Knox said, what about dating tips? So, I've never been on a date in my life, you know, that's fine, but, what I would think or what I would do going into a date would be just, like, trying to be as much of yourself as possible. That's something that I really have to work on, is being myself around people that I'm nervous around. Like, I tend to just, like, change for some reason, and I have to really practice and learn to be more like myself, no matter what circumstances I'm under, no matter if this person is being rude or intimidates me, just to be myself and not worry about their opinion. And I think people will you'll find the right people, and they'll fall in love with you for you if you just start acting like yourself. If you're not acting like yourself, they can't, like, love who you are, and then that just ends up being a mess, and nobody really knows who they are if you're just trying to be somebody else. So, yeah, just do you boo-boo and go kill it. I don't know if you're going on a date, but if you are, have some fun. Okay. Hi. Oh, Brenna and Jaina are here. Hi, guys. Oh, okay, so hi, Cow, I can't pronounce that, and I'm gonna, like, ruin it. I mean, I'm not gonna ruin your last name, but I just don't want to slaughter it, so I'm not gonna say it. But I have her pin. She said, may I have some tips about acting? I'm starting, but I'm not confident in myself. For me, I'm a big butthole about not being good at things. Like, I have to learn how to enjoy what I'm doing without being perfect at it, especially when I'm learning how to do things. It's very difficult for me to be confident in it because I want to just be amazing at it already, and if I'm not amazing, I'm not confident, and I'm gonna wait until I feel like I'm good enough to be confident in it. And, like, in our minds, especially in mine, because I'm very hard on myself sometimes, it is never ever going to be good enough. And so if I wait till I feel like I'm good enough, then sis, it's gonna be a long while until I feel confident. So just enjoying the road and enjoying the journey and where you are now, and not what, oh, well, I'm not this yet. Just enjoying how you are now, and also your improvement, and looking forward to the future and your potential, but also not resting on that and being like, well, I'm not as good as I should be. Just being grateful for where you are at the moment. Okay, this one is a really good one. Ugh, my throat's getting dry. Live, love, laugh. Ooh, goody. I love that. That's such a cute username. 45678 said, how would I get rid of a toxic friend in my life? Just gonna let that one rest for a second. That is a good question. That is a question that I have asked so many times. Well, I think just some people are just not the ones for you, and it can be very difficult to try and separate yourself from those specific people that are toxic and make you feel worthless. I've had my fair share of those type of friends, and it's weird because I never saw it at first. I always thought they were like the most innocent, pure, nice people when I first met them, and then of course time went on and I said, they is not what I thought. And that's really, it's hard when you kind of attach yourself to this person and kind of loved who you thought they were until they changed, and then now it's like, how do I get this leech off of me? It's really difficult, and it's dangerous too, because you can feel like, oh, if I confront this person, even if it's just in a polite way, you feel like they're gonna turn on you. But if you ever feel like a friend is going to turn on you, ever, even when they're being nice to you, like, if you see them turning on these other people and treating other people badly, but they're nice to you, that is a sign to get the heck out of there. That's something that I wish I could tell my younger self sometimes, because I befriended certain people who were not the nicest to others, but they were nice to me and nice to other people in my friend group or whatever. And so I just thought, like, oh, it's just a misunderstanding or whatever. I don't even know what I thought, really. But just anybody who's just outwardly being rude to anybody else, I don't think that's a good idea. No. That just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Even after throwing up, that leaves a worse taste in my mouth than throwing up does. But yeah, I think just trying to I never even answered this question. I just kind of explained stuff, but I truly wish I went up to certain people and just said, I don't like the way you treat me or treat her or him or whoever. I don't like that, and it's not a nice thing to do. It's very hurtful, and I never did that. I don't think I've ever done that, which is horrible. But I don't love confrontation, and certain people that I've been around, there's not really it would not be the best thing to do that, because there's no physical escape from them. Maybe I could try to make my distance, like, mentally, and, like, just not be as committed to making them happy in my mind, but, like, sometimes you just gotta be next to people all the time because there's no other place you can go, and when that happens, I mean, sometimes it's hard because you don't want to be, like, have this person angry at you when they're sitting right next to you every single day, but I think maybe something I want to do is, or I would have wanted to do, tell myself to do, is tell the person, and maybe they can change. Maybe they can see, because they might not even know that they're being a rude person to everybody around them. And so if you try and just let them know, and that automatically allows you to separate from this person, and for them to, that might be the start, that might change the course of their lives. Who knows, but I think just either just going away and slipping away from them, or to verbally say something, but don't stick around, because trying to change a person that doesn't want to change is a very, very hard thing to do. And it's hard to thrive in your life when you're just trying to help somebody else do so, when they don't even appreciate you. So yeah. Eric Glitch said, how many pickles do you eat in a year? Sis, you know I eat so many pickles, like all, like, sweet, breaded ones. What are those? Like, that brand that's like bread pickles? I don't know. I mean, I can't eat bread, but it doesn't have bread. It just says, like, sweet bread pickles. I don't even know. But I eat a lot of pickles. I like the sour pickles, though. Like, the ones at Disneyland. Oh, those are so good. But good question. I think that was a really deep and from the heart question that, you know, I just really, really do. Brenna said fried pickles are my life. I've actually never had a fried pickle before. Crystal.mc said, what do you think about One Direction? You know I love One Direction. I mean, I feel like everybody does, even if they're not gonna admit it to themselves. Like, One Direction was just a bop, and I'm still waiting for the reunion. It's weird, I never really liked, like, I wasn't, like, a stan of One Direction when they were a group, but after they split up, I started listening to their music, and of course I knew their, like, big hits, like, That's What Makes You Beautiful. I think that, I don't know if that's the name of their song. See, I'm not, like, the biggest fan, but I love, like, when their music comes on, I know the words somehow. I don't know how I know the words, but I know the words. So, I think they're good, and I want them back. Thank you. Veronica.2023 said, favorite clothing brand. That's a hard one. I used to buy a lot of clothes that were like $1, fell apart a lot, and that was just not good. So I think I've learned that quality over quantity is a big thing, which is something I should think more about. But I do love just having like a lot of options. But then if those options fall away literally off of my body because the sewing job is so bad, and it just falls apart after a couple of times I wear it, that might not be a good thing to do. Like, my parents have clothes from when they were in high school, and I don't have clothes from a couple months ago. Like, some of those clothes just aren't it. So I think I just need to get good quality clothes more. And I am very blessed to be able to get good quality clothes, and I'm trying to just not shop a lot, and once a year or twice a year I'll get a couple of good, nice things that will last me a while. And then I can tell my children, I had this when I was in high school, honey. So I don't really know favorite clothing brands, just stuff that will stay for a good while. Jana said, how are you liking them koala slippers? I love them. They're so comfy. The night that I got them, I wore them all around, and they're just the cutest little things. So, thank you for that. Okay. Your _winter, I couldn't see the whole thing because it had dots because it was really long, but they said, do you like Garen's music? I love Garen's music. Like, all of the cast and I know, like, all of the words to his songs. He's an amazing artist, and I can't wait to see what else he does this year because I know he's gonna be doing a lot of stuff. Okay, I think I'm gonna do like one more maybe. I'm gonna try to find one that is something that I think will stick. Thank you guys, all of these are really sweet. Okay. There's so many, I just want to do all of them. What the heck? Oh, someone said, did you watch Bird Box? Did I? I have so many things. First of all, justice for Tom, justice for Charlie, I think his name was. Boy and girl. They're so cute, especially girl. I loved her. Love that they got names. This is such a spoiler, I'm so sorry, but yeah, Olympia and Tom, that was what I'm doing. But yeah, such a good movie. I think the acting, just the whole, everything about it was incredible. Oh my gosh, someone said, how's your dog? She's thriving. She's doing so good. I gave her a bath and cut her hair the other day, and she just is the cutest. I she's like my little guinea pig when it comes to like haircuts, because I love to like act like I'm this hairstylist, because that's always like when I was little I always wanted to be a hairstylist, so I'd always like pretend like whenever I'm cutting her hair that I'm like in a hair salon, like and I always do it the same, I just cut it a little shorter, but yeah, she's the cutest. Okay, there's this, I like this last one, from FWYG_Debbie said, what keeps you motivated these days? Sorry, I'm getting so low, what the heck? Okay, what keeps me motivated? My family, first of all. My family definitely keeps me motivated. I want to make them as proud as possible, and they always are so supportive of me and have sacrificed so much for me, so I really want to just be the best I can be for myself, but also for those incredible people that I get to call my family. And certain people in my life, like my best friends, Bailey Spangler and Gemma Chuatran and Melody Kiptu, they're all so talented and also the most positive and just fun and happy people that I've ever really met. And of course they might go through days where they're not like that, but whenever I've had the pleasure of being around them, they've always been just amazing and so uplifting, and I want to be more like them and show them how much I appreciate them, because I don't think I do that enough. But yeah, I love them very much and they keep me motivated. I think like all of my instructors, or people that I like to call my mentors, like Matt Deering, he is an amazing acting coach out in Arizona, where I'm from, and he's an amazing actor, but also an amazing teacher, and he definitely keeps me motivated to work on myself and to not just sit and let me think that I can just, oh yeah, well I was on a show, so like, or I'm on a show, so I just can like relax, but I think just always working to be my best and realize that I have so much more to go and I have to improve a lot more, and to just try and get better and better and better. Also, Dean Kalin is my vocal coach, and he is incredible. He has taught me so many things and has really helped me become just so much more confident in my singing, and yeah, he's incredible as well. And all of my dance mentors, I haven't seen most of them in a while. Michaela Harp was a very big part of my dancing life, and she helped me so much. So just all of my teachers that have helped me over all of the years. So my family, my friends, my teachers, my dog. Boy, you know I'm talking about my dog. Like, she is like just the cutest thing, and I strive to be like her. Just so calm and happy about life all the time. Like, yeah, sometimes she might be mad because I don't want to take her on a walk, but she's always just so in the moment, and that's something that I want to be more like. And not to be cheesy, but you guys too, seeing how much you guys enjoy projects that I work on, and how I can affect you guys sometimes. It's crazy because I don't understand like that I have any impact on anybody outside myself. Sometimes it's really incredible to hear your guys' messages and so that definitely motivates me and makes me want to be the best I can be for you guys as well. But yeah, thank you for that question. This was a really long live, it feels like. Rambled, cried a little, threw up earlier, goody. But I love you guys, and remember that you guys are the most amazing in your own amazing, cool, sassy, swaggy, interesting, unique, inspiring, awesome, cool, I already said that, way, and that you should just love yourself. Love your body, love your personality, and everything about you that makes you you. So I love you guys. Don't know what that was. I'm gonna go to the grocery store and get some food. So I will see you guys. Bye, everybody. I'm still here.